Good morning, my friends. I am with Mike, aka Control Freak, and we are watching some lovely 5-ticks modern. We've got Mono Red, Prowess, or Blitz, whatever you want to call it, against Devoted Druid in 5-ticks. I think, Mike, we've got a pretty heavy favorite here in the form of the red deck. What do you think about that?
I would say that this is a pretty typical matchup that's gone on in Modern in recent years. And typically these Mono Red Prowess decks have had a bit of the edge, just having all these removal spells, all the interaction in the world, keeping them off the combo. I think I'm probably on your corner on this one.
Yeah, man. My first foray into Mono Red Prowess, I ran into like Devoted Druid and Elves, I think, in the first league, and I was like, oh, I can't lose. I can't lose if I'm
This
curving
deck's
out.
perfect.
Exactly. Why haven't I played this before? I thought Fatal Push was good, but yeah, no, it's definitely I think the favorite. But Ashes with a 1-land 7, he's going to throw it back after a lot of deliberation, and now we're looking at a 1-land 6, and this could provide the opening for Bobby to really establish a board presence that doesn't
Bobby
just
on
get
this
knocked
side
down.
has got a banger. He's got the combo. He's got the payoff. He's got
Okay.
spell skite for protection. I don't think
Wow.
you can ask for a better 7.
Okay, well, maybe I'm about to eat my words right away. We'll see. Ashes, I think, makes the right call here, bottoming Bedlam Reveler, just playing for the early game and mid game, basically. We've got a couple Blister Coil Weirds and a Shard Volley. Skewer the Critics crash through, notably lacking the high quality spot removal, but he does immediately find it off the top with Burst Lightning. Nevertheless, letting the Dork live, gonna get the clock started first.
Shard volley off the top, or shard volley out of Ash's side is interesting. That's not one I would have expected, but having this 5 ticks restriction and wanted to maximize damage and interaction, it's a pretty cool choice.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. So there's that spell skite you mentioned. That's definitely a huge problem.
Right, that's going to be a big roadblock for Ashes, but being able to protect this combo next turn, buy that extra little bit of protection from some damage to the face.
Yep.
I really think that Bobby's got a good chance to pull this one away.
Yeah, and Ash is forced into a pretty suboptimal turn. You know, he only uses one of his mana sources. He's holding up Burst Lightning technically, but Spell Skite just doing the work.
Right. I think you're absolutely fine throwing the spell skite away if it eats a couple spells right here.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
But we'll see. This double prowess creature out of Ashes can create a really big chunk of damage really quickly. So if he's
Yeah,
able
that can get
to
ugly quick, no doubt.
right, if he's able to string something together here, then maybe he can force some action out of Bobby's side that he wasn't prepared to do.
That's right. And we draw a Lava Dart over here, so the options just kind of became a little bit broader in terms of how exactly to sequence. Obviously, that Spellskite does have to go sooner or later. Perhaps the highest upside play would be to begin with a crash through, trying to crash into exactly another land, allowing for just a bigger, more explosive turn. But you run the risk of just not dealing with the board yet again. However, that's what he goes for, and I think maybe that's the right call. We got to play for that upside, as I say.
I think that was a
And
good
not
call. I think
rewarded. Fiend. Yeah.
still think it was right. Like staring down this spell skite as well as the devoted druid means you got to get some spells on the stack quickly if you don't want to
That's
die
right.
here.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that play might look a little strange to some, but I don't think it was wrong, like you said. I think we got to play for the peak performance right now in the face of what's frankly kind of a nut draw out of
It
Devoted Druid over there.
it really is. Like I knew the deck was going to be pretty consistent, but I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting game one to give him the absolute high end hand.
Right, yeah, exactly. So we're considering maybe firing off one of these instants here: Burst Lightning, Lava Dart, Shard Volley. Get a little more damage across, force maybe a Spellskite activation, a little more life loss, but just passing here.
Yeah, and on
What are we
Bobby's
sitting on
side,
in Bobby's hand?
We got the Vizier here. We've got a Court of Calling, a Weird Harvest, a Duskwatch Recruiter.
Oh my
Like
God. I
Bobby
didn't even
had
know about it. Was a nut drop of fuel before I even knew about that stuff.
it
Oh
was. We
my.
had the cord in the opener, and the draws have just been like payoff, payoff. And I'm sure Ashes knows he's dead here. All right, he decides to scoop
Yep,
it up.
there
I
it
was
is.
gonna say he might want to stick around
Wow.
and see what the win condition of choice is, but
Yes, but you're right. But remember, these are open list tournaments, so
they
he's
are
actually consulting the list right there. He does know, and yeah, wow, a huge upset in game one. Feel free, Mike, to tell us what you see with the sideboarding. Ashes hasn't done anything yet. He's consulting the list.
absolutely. So we're looking at a couple extra protection options. Some cards like Selfless Savior out of M21, our favorite little
Yeah,
dog companion to give something indestructible. We got
yeah,
Core
definitely.
Firewalker in the board. I see some Celestial Purges hanging out. It looks
Ah,
like Bobby's got
yeah,
some good options to bring in.
I guess so.
What's
Ashes
it
has
looking like
reached
he's
for
been?
yeah, Ashes is reaching for some good choices. We've got two Abrade and a Pyroclasm. I think those are slam dunks, although notably neither answer Spellskite cleanly. We saw just how much of a hurdle that could be. Also bringing in a single Shrine of Burning Rage, which is interesting. I think there's some scope for that on the play, depending on what needs to come out. He's cutting a Bedlam Reveler. I like that. And then he seems to be hesitating. I don't know if the Shrine will stay in. I'm looking at the list, and I myself might say, okay, I could see going down to one rev. I could see maybe trimming a light up or a skewer, something like that. Obviously, we name of the game here is control the opponent's board while presenting even like an average clock. If you're one for wanting the devoted druid deck, you'll be fine, right? So um, maybe a shard volley has to go. Yeah, that's what we see.
Yeah, it looks like on Bobby's side, just kind of as expected, taking out a few of these more expensive spells, bringing in the Selfless Savior. Had a copy of Ranger's Guile floating around in the sideboard that I didn't see. Looks like that's coming in as well. So he's just playing the classic infect, protect my guy
Yeah,
post board plan.
awesome. Yeah, makes sense to me. And notably, the shrine isn't interesting against those firewalkers. I think that might be the primary motivating factor there. But
Right.
sorry, firewalker singular.
I was gonna say we only got one of them, but as you saw game one, we only had one spell skite and hit it, and it carried its weight.
It sure did, man. Sure did. So Ash is just kind of tanking over the final cut here. Looks like we do end up just cutting all three Bedlam Revelers, which, yeah, I understand that for sure.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised on Bobby's side. He did not bring in the 2 copies of Celestial Purge, but I guess I can understand that if you're wanting to really go all in on the combo, then having those protection spells is going to be a little bit better for you in the long run.
Yeah, yeah, I can respect that. I think without a critical mass of removal, maybe you don't even try to play the removal game. I can see that. We've got a 3-land keep. It's balanced. It's not the most oppressive hand I've ever seen, but we're sitting on Firebolt, Light up the Stage, Lava Dart with a turn 1 threat. That should be good enough. That should
Yeah,
definitely be good enough,
after
assuming the
this
curve out.
Right. After this draw, Bobby's got 3 lands, Birds of Paradise, a Devoted Druid, a Ranger's Guile, and a Selfless Savior. So he's got the first half of the combo. He doesn't have a payoff and he doesn't have the Vizier, but he's got that Ranger's Guile and Selfless Savior. So he's going to be able to protect this Devoted Druid pretty well.
Gotcha.
Oh, and a Spellskite off the top. So that's a good bit of cover for this Devoted Druid if he can just
Yeah,
find a
wow.
Vizier and a payoff.
For real. Is he just
That's
going to slam the Skype as a 2-for-1 magnet here, or do you think he tries to maybe find a spot for it to protect something else?
Oh, I I wouldn't hate to see slam it. It looks like he's going for the birds, but
Gotcha.
staring down that skewer, the burst lightning, and potential land in another burn spell could just mean that you're giving up the spell skite for not a lot of progress.
Right, exactly. Okay, we see that trade happen that we kind of saw coming, and now it's time to have a big turn for Ashes. See what
Yeah,
he draws for turn.
think that lava dart was kind of worst case scenario on Bobby's side.
Yeah,
Getting the two halves of that card to take out the bird even through the protection spell. That's going to be a little
exactly.
rough.
Yep. Yep. So I think Ashes is gonna shock the bird. No, it's gonna shock the opponent. I was thinking maybe shock the bird, then shock the opponent out of hand, and then skewer the opponent and do it all main phase. We still could, but maybe he'll offer the attack or offer the chump first. Oh, we're gonna flashback lava dart. Interesting. Okay, that makes a lot of sense too. So his cards in hand are Mountain, Firebolt, Shard, Volley. This enables him to kind of split the difference between, respecting the potential top decks. He's still got 2 burn spells in hand.
Right. Bobby picked up a Court of Calling, so he's got a Devoted Druid in hand and a Court of Calling. If he can find that Vizier with this Spellskite and Selfless Savior, he could have a decent chance of comboing if he
Yeah,
lives
for
long enough.
So we've drawn another burn spell. We've drawn another burst lightning. So there is a way for Ashes to take care of the entire board here because 2 of them are at instant speed, but it looks instead like he's just going to go upstairs, and that's a really good way to do it too.
Right. I mean, if he just gets to force Bobby into sacking this Selfless Savior, or maybe giving up the Spellskite this turn, then you're making some pretty good progress.
Exactly.
And I can't imagine Bobby's too thrilled about seeing all these 2 damage spells at the face. So the Spellskite's
No,
not really
indeed.
saving you anything.
Exactly. Yep. So we've put ourselves in a really good position here. Opponents at 3, as you say, can't really activate Spellskite with impunity any longer. Um, Bobby's just got to hope for the bricks off the top for a couple turns, I guess.
Right. And at the very least, you can throw the Spellskite in front of the Blister Coil weird. Maybe buy yourself a little bit of time, but
That's right.
any bolt off the top starts getting awkward. Lava Dart off the top.
That's exactly right. We got a burst lightning in hand, so that's close enough. He is electing, of course, to just save it.
Well, Bobby pulled a second Devoted Druid. So he's got Devoted Druid, Court of Calling. He could try to cord for 3 here and just get the Vizier or get a value piece and go for a little bit of a longer game. Looks like he is going to go for the Court of Calling. We'll see if he just
All
goes for
right.
the Vizier or if he's got something better in mind.
Yeah, fascinating decision here.
All right, Bobby, what's the targeted choice here? I'm surprised he convoked the Spellskite there.
Me too. So X equals 4. Is that right? Am I seeing
It
that
is
right? Okay.
going
For
for the
Shalai.
Shalai.
Alrighty. Well,
Interesting. I did
indeed.
not see that one coming. I could have expected something like a core Firewalker,
Yeah.
but
Ooh.
his
Ash is a little punished here because he held the burst lightning, but he draws a braid. So a braid is definitely live, but he's just a little bit tempoed out here. And maybe it's much of the same, right? But it does feel like a slightly wasted opportunity, I guess.
right.
Just because, for example, that Spellskite activation would not have been possible there if he had just fired the burst lightning upstairs on the unstep. So,
It's a really great interaction here from Bobby, being able to redirect that abrade, or not being able to redirect the abrade because the Spellskite has hexproof, so you can't actually change the target to it. You're just paying the 2 life. A little
oh,
bit
is that what happened?
it
Okay, I was
is.
just gonna ask. Okay, I don't know if I saw that clearly, but yeah. So
Yep.
Spellskite, he attempted to redirect it. Got it. Okay,
Right. If you
interesting.
redirect and then give the Spellskite hexproof, it fizzles. But if the Spellskite already has hexproof, it can't be targeted in the first place, so you can't redirect to it.
Gotcha. Wow. Oh man. Oh man. That's not an interaction that you see every day. Spellskite, not exactly everywhere in Modern these days, but
Uh,
very stylish. Ashes on his own upkeep. As soon as that man is untapped, going for
this,
the shot, taking us to game 3.
the attempted redirect coming back to bite him.
Oh man. Yep. Yeah, definitely an easy thing to overlook, right? So I see we're hovering maybe another Shrine of Burning Rage, probably the only thing in consideration here for Ashes. He's
Yep.
taking the other Shard Volley out.
Yep. Bobby just submitted the same 60, so no
Gotcha.
worries about Celestial Purges. We're doing our thing.
Yeah, fair enough. We got a pretty nutty hand over here. 2 lands, 5 spells for the first time this match. 1 threat, a Braid, Light Up, Pyroclasm, and Skewer, and now a Crash Through. Oh my goodness. What a prowess hand.
Oh man, that's gonna be rough for Bobby over here. We got a couple 1-mana dorks, a Vizier, a Postmortem Lunge, and 3 lands. So unless we find a Devoted Druid off the top, we're gonna have a rough time. I don't know how many times Bobby can top deck this Spellskite is a one of, but it's got to be a record.
Spellskite going on the thumbnail, no question. No matter what happens.
Absolutely.
So Ash is snapping off the Abrade, which is a really good answer to Spellskite. I think maybe in sideboarding I said that it didn't cleanly answer it. I'm wrong. I was thinking it deals 3 to a 0/4, but of course it's got the Shatter mode. And able to save that Pyroclasm in hand for a much potentially bigger X for 1. We'll see
Bobby
if
rips the
Bobby
Shalai
plays it.
off the top.
He does not play into it. We're going tall over there.
That's a solid one. If
It
he's
sure
able to
is.
untap and find a land and start activating this Shalai, it could be a pretty interesting turn of events here.
Sure could, man. Once again, we opt for the high upside of Crash Through, trying to find a land. We don't get it, so he's going to crash again, looking for another land. We don't get it. Ooh. Very unlucky here.
This could be a window for Bobby to get some value out of these guys. He finds the 4th land, so he could activate Shalai. Going for the Vizier instead.
Okay. Hey, the
Now we got this.
Pyroclasm's still looking pretty good.
And now we got this Postmortem Lunge in hand. I don't know if there's any consideration for lunging back the Spellskite there just to protect your Shalai.
Yeah, that's an interesting shout. We still don't have a 3rd land, so this is the turn. It's going to be Pyroclasm attack, which is admittedly pretty darn good, but you get the feeling that if Ashes had hit the 3rd land last turn or even this turn, we'd be much more comfortable on the red side of the table. Incubation.
Right. Incubation finds the Druid. The Druid's got this is a potential combo off next turn with Postmortem Lunge, the Vizier of Remedies, and just activate Shalai until the end of time.
Yeah.
So I think Ashes has to answer both the Shalai and the Devoted Druid this turn, or it could be death.
And he can't. He still doesn't have the 3rd land. So the removal in hand is Firebolt and Burst Lightning. And that's it. So maybe one option is attack and try to light up into, I don't know what. I mean, that doesn't really do it because you already have 2 removal spells. You only have 2 lands at most after the light up.
Let's see. I think you would have to light up into exactly Lava Dart and a 3 damage burn spell. So you could 3 damage and Lava Dart the Shalai, and then next turn be able to, if for some reason Ashes, Bobby over here draws, or not Ashes, Bobby draws a payoff, then he might be able to flash back a Lava Dart on a Vizier.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. And you're right, Lava Dart would be the find, but instead we are just double spelling to kill Shalai. And hoping that's good enough. So Infinite Mana will be online, right?
Bobby rips the Chord of Calling off the top. So we're going to have a combo here.
Okay. these top decks are insane.
So
Absolutely insanity.
Bobby does have a second copy of Shalai in his deck. He can cord for that, just make an infinitely big Vizier and attack in.
Yep. I guess that's game then. My goodness.
Oh my god, Bobby with the draws.
I think this is the biggest upset. I think this was probably the most lopsided of our top 8. Ooh, we've got a different win con. What is that? Wild Heart Invoker?
It is
Yeah.
the old 8 mana +5/+5 modern staple.
A very
Oh,
stylish finisher.
that was not
I'm a little flabbergasted, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
but fantastic game on both sides. Very
Yeah.
well hard fought.
Yes, well done to Bobby, weathering some very tough matchups here, and well done to Ashes too, because Ashes was put in a couple of spots where if he had just drawn the missing land, his play would have been obvious, and he didn't, and so then we had to get a little bit creative, go for higher upside lines. I like every single line that he took, really do, and sometimes it paid off, sometimes it didn't. And those spell skites always near the top decker in the opening hand, definitely not hurting Bobby's chances at
Right.
all. So,
Big
wow,
kudos to both of our players there. Good
for
luck to
sure.
Bobby in the next round. And
Yes, indeed.
Ashes, fantastic top 8.
Yeah, great job, guys. Well played. Thanks for coming out.